Hey everyone, you're watching Ash on Comics. I'm Ash. This is today's comic, Wrong Earth. What's going on over here? What? Some drawn on some toast. The hell? Oh, hey, look, they're drawing a cutesy little squirrel. Oh, and they put some stuff on it for the kids. And oh, look at the little candy acorns and the squirrel toast. Oh, it's so cute. Marvel. Marvel doesn't make comics anymore. It's all about lifestyle brand. You can now learn to make toast because they can't fucking make comics. Meanwhile, today's episode featuring spotlight on Captain Cummings. Shout out. First guy to support my channel. One of the original comic skaters way back when. This is OG. If you don't know who Captain Cummings is, you should look him up or check out his channel. He's been gone for about 3 months. He's been doing schoolwork apparently. He's just came back, so I was like, oh, whoa. He's made an appearance. He hasn't been doing anything on Twitter. And so far he hasn't really been talking about comics, which is a little disappointing. But understandable since he's been kind of burned out. But Captain, if you happen to watch my videos, you probably don't. But shout out to you, buddy. Thanks for doing what you do. And now back to what you came here for. This is my second time recording this video. The first time the lighting was so bad and it just couldn't see. And I was like, I'm not going to publish that because I care about quality. My videos are all about quality. Speaking of quality, what's this? Comic super lawyer Jamal Igle? Yep. Ash bought a comic by Jamal Igle. This is his art. The Pyre, I think it's Tom Pyre, is the, I forget his first name, is the writer. Diversity in Comics gave a stellar review of this book. Because he's a total bigot and only gives biased reviews. No, obviously he's not. That's just the lies that SJWs will constantly spout about him. That's why he gave a stellar review. So I decided to try this out. I think DNC sometimes over-exaggerates things and doesn't quite see, I don't see quite eye to eye with him. But I've never hated a book that he liked. And something told me his review of this book was pretty spot on. Let's see, what was it? Tom Payer is the writer. So, this book, The Wrong Earth, features Dragonfly Man and his spunky little sidekick, Stinger. And let me just read you the beginning here. When last we left Dragonfly Man and Stinger, they were baking in a hot mirror trap set by the ego-driven evildoer number 1. Dragonfly Man, this heat is unbearable. I don't know how much longer I can last. Hang on, Stinger. Although number 1 confiscated our crime-fighting equipment, I still have an ace up my sleeve. Brave words, Dragonfly Man, but empty. I assure you my mirror oven is inescapable. And here we can see it's a super heat-proof closed-circuit speaker. Oh, what are they going to do? Fortune City, Earth Alpha. Take note of that. So the reason I wanted to read that to you is so you could get a feel of the campiness. This book, this storyline, Earth Alpha, is intentionally campy. And it's in a good way. It's not trying to be silly, although you can enjoy it that way if you choose. It's not trying to be silly. What it's trying to do is set up a contrast. This is trying to evoke a similar style that the 60s Batman TV show had, of an era of comics that came out of that time, where things were just a little more wholesome, not so edgelord, and that's what this achieves. Now, I'm not going to read to you, the comic, and I'm not even really going to go through the story too much, because I really do want to read to you, I really don't want to recommend this book that you read it yourself. This is, by the way, no surprise, which Is that 2 thumbs, or is it the same thumb over? You've never seen it in the same spot twice. This is a 2 thumbs up recommendation. This is good book. Very good. I'll just get that out of the way now. This is very important, the way that this was done. This character, by the way, is number 1, the villain, and this is his sidekick, Deuce. She wears a number 2, and then all of his henchmen have numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. He is a very Joker-esque type character, but not in the crazy department. Just in sort of how he relates as being a... If I were to compare this character, Dragonfly Man, to Batman, the main nemesis, and then Deuce has a very Harlequin kind of feel in the way she relates to number 1. So, getting into the story, our heroes escape. And I like here, look, notice how Jamal does the art. He draws them in skin tight, what realistic tights would look like. There's no real muscle showing through because cloth is not, paper thin. So superhero costumes would look like this when you actually dress up in spandex, not the way they look in the comics. And this is also reflects an older aesthetic, like the 60s. So they escape, and it's your very traditional, typical type of storyline. What? You've escaped? Henchmen, go get them. And so there's like, bow, boom. You get that feel. And like I said, all of this is on purpose. It's not, if you're getting kind of turned off and going, this sounds stupid, wait till the end of the video. So here we go. Fortune City, Earth Omega. And this is why I redid the video, by the way, because these pages were the other pages you can see fine, but these pages are just dark. So now I've got really bright light, and you can see here we have Dragonfly. This is an alternate multiverse version of Dragonfly Man. You can see his costume's a little more edgy, dark look. You can see the skin tight. This is how a modern rendition of a superhero would look, and these bad guys just look a lot more menacing and threatening. And so he's fighting, and he gets clocked over the head with a bat, and there's blood, and it's and then bashed in the face again. You can see his face contorting and more blood. Ugh. And this is just feeling very much like a 80s, 90s edgelord, Frank Miller-esque style book. It's trying to evoke that. Obviously, no one's Frank Miller, but it's trying to evoke that style and that aesthetic, and it does that pretty well. And here we have Dragonfly lights up his lighter, does this thing. I'll let you read, but he burns these guys alive. He is no goody two shoes. He has no qualms about killing. He just burn mother effers, and so he's looking for number 1. So in his world, his villain is also number 1. Surrender! I'm coming for you. Of course you are. If not you, someone, because I am at the center of attention always. And here we get a picture of this world's number 1. Half-shaved head, number 1 scarred in his face. He's obviously a darker version of this character. You might as well come in, Dragonfly. I'm bored, lonely. I have no one to talk at. And so he throws away the curtains, and here we see number 1's giving himself what appears to be a blood transfusion from this character. And he's kind of horrified. No judging. All that healthy young blood crashing around inside someone so unimportant. You can't blame me for helping myself. And he smacks him, and he says, haha, all right, I surrender. And he just gives up. And he still punches him. And again, this is a character that's not the goody-goody role model hero. This is a dark world. And this is totally on purpose. The whole concept of this book is the contrast between the two worlds. And the title, Wrong Earth, maybe could have been a better title, but now you see, right? This contrast. So this is the one part of the book that was really not good. We're back to Earth Alpha, and then there's this museum. And there's this mirror. Some little magic mirror here. Hands off mirror. Okay. And they're fighting, and it's just boom, boom, you know, just it just totally evokes the old Adam West Batman. And so we got the main villain. He's like, I'm gonna run away and get away. You know, they won't get me. Number one, halt in the name of the law. You know, and halt, I say, and he follows him through the mirror. Dragonfly Man, where'd you go, Dragonfly Man? And then appears through the mirror, Omega version. Oh. So he's looking at the boy. Look who's alive. What? Of course I'm alive. Well, if you want to know the truth, boy, which you probably do not, I've seen you dead. And he grabs a shard of glass and just guts him. And it's a very good look for you. Just, no holds barred. And here we have the two worlds crossing. We have, the dark 90s edgelord characters crossing over into wholesome, I'm trying to think of that movie that Tobey Maguire was in. Was it Pleasantville? Yeah, Pleasantville Land. They're crossing over into here. And, even the sidekick's like, Onesie, what did you do? Don't call me that stupid name. He's just a kid. What happened to you? And he smacks her. What? So even to her, this is like, she's a villain, and this is like, what? I love this contrast. And then now we've got Omega version Dragonfly, who he doesn't call himself Dragonfly Man, he calls him Dragonfly, comes through the portal. And this is what this whole book is about, is the two characters switching worlds, essentially. It's interesting, like, he distrusts the law, and he's like, the cops are coming, and in his world, all the cops are corrupt. So he's like, oh, crap, he's getting ready to face them. And they show up, and they're just, of course, like the old, hey, good job, And he's just like, what? I've never seen good cops before. So I highly recommend you read this book. I feel bad, like, kind of spoiling this, but if you're watching this, you haven't read it, chances are it wouldn't have grabbed your attention anyway, so you would have missed it. I feel like you would grab it. I'm buzzing through it, so you'll still get enjoyment of reading it on your own. Vice versa, we have Dragonfly Man, alpha version. The cops show up in his world, on his scene of the crime, and he's, of course, used to the cops being good. And he's like, oh, officers, I need your help, blah, 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 blah. Officers show up. He's trying to tell them what's going on, and it's like, bam, they just lay into him. And that's a good shot. Jamal, I like this. Nice use of a full-page spread, nice and dramatic. This is how full-page spreads should be used. I have no real qualms about Jamal's art here. And throughout the book, he's not quite my style. I feel like his aesthetic is a little old. I feel like he's been drawing this way for over a decade, and he's not truly developed a style. It's just a standard, illustration. And I wish he kind of would. And maybe that's me, subjective. Like, I really like stylized art. I like Jay Lee. I like McFarlane. I like artists that you can look at immediately and see, like, their stamp. Not only are they just quality illustrators, but they bring an aesthetic to the table that only they have. And it'd be interesting to see Jamal kind of experiment with that instead of just... His art is very crisp and clean and just trying to be competent and never actually evoking him. That's kind of how I feel. Your miles may vary. So they're like, oh shit, who is it? They kill the guy and they unmask him, and his name's Richard Fame. Richard, really? But it's interesting, they go on and like, oh, he's a rich guy, I can't believe a billionaire running around in a mask, haha, because the whole time this is Batman, really, right? So they're like, don't worry, we gotcha. What? We're gonna help you, but then you're gonna give us what we need, money, because they're gonna extort him now. Which is like an interesting thing, right? The cops, imagine the cops finding Batman in dire need. is about to die, and the only ones that can save him is this. And it's like, oh, Mr. Bruce Wayne will save you, but you're going to pay handsomely. So the rest of this book it has some extras. There's I think it's the editor's notes here. This is like kind of old school comic style, which I kind of appreciated. The editor here talks about the books, not just this book, but the other upcoming books they have. And, like kind of what the whole deal is with Ahoy Comics. Here, by the way, here's the 4 Ahoy Comics. And this is cool. I've already said I give this 2 thumbs up. But even before reading it, the premise, I'm okay. Like, I like superheroes, so I guess my prejudice. This, I don't know who is interested in this. I don't know what market this has, but maybe I'm just out of touch. Captain Ginger? No. High Heaven. Look, it's like Ethan Van Sciver looking at a pie. It's this angel who apparently he's high, he's stoned, and he's got the munchies. I don't know what this is about. I have no interest. There's a little backstory here, a second story called Stinger, and it's featuring Stinger. And it's kind of cool. Check this out. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it looks like old school, like kind of tinted, like newsprint that's like discolored, yellowed over time, yellow newsprint, like an old book from the 40s, and it's got that style. The art, of course, is trying to totally evoke that, which I really like. This artist, Frank Camuso. He does a stellar job bringing that to life. And it's an okay story. It's just a little fun little side thing. It's, what, five pages? Yeah. So it's not really long. At the end, it's just kind of like, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Feel like, okay, like, it's cute. I could have done without it, but if you're going to throw it in for free, well, I'm not complaining. And then we get, oh look, here is Jamal Igle himself. Comic superstar lawyer, Jamal Igle. Looking as smug as he possibly could. This is not a headshot I would use if I were him. It's also not a good headshot. Look at this space over here. Whoever framed this, I don't know, this is a terrible composition for a professional photo. Jamal Igle launched his career at the age of 17 as an intern at DC Comics. In fact, he had already been planning for it for 6 years, over the last 3 decades. From his breakout creation, Molly Danger, to his artistry on Supergirl and Firestorm, Igle has done everything. Everything? I didn't see Batman or Superman on that list. I didn't see Marvel titles, X-Men, Spider-Man. I haven't seen any real Supergirl, Firestorm. Like C-list characters here. He hasn't done everything. A past winner of the Inkpot Award for Achievement in Comic Art, he lives in Brooklyn with his wife and daughter. He took time out for Drawing the Wrong Earth to talk with Ahoy. Oh, that was so nice of you, Jamal. You took time out to talk to your publisher. Yeah. I'm just jaded here. And this is, I kind of respect when comics do stuff like this, but like if this was Jim Lee, Frank Miller, even like a hot person today, Scott Snyder, Peter Tomasi, Donnie Cates, someone that's like kind of Jamal, okay. And then it's done by the publisher, so there's no real hard questions here. This is all just, let's make you look good, and it's a fluff piece. And then we get Hud Hornet's Holiday in Hell, a Hud Hornet three-fisted tale of turmoil and unrest. Oh, it's a prose story, and that is, 3 pages long. By what? Grant Morrison. That's a big name. I could not finish the first page. It is word salad. It is, yeah. Ooh boy. And then we've got another interview here of Jamal Wasn't Enough. I think one per book is enough. You're quickly going to run out of interview material, And I don't even know who Stuart Moore is. He's not even part of this book. So I was like, whatever. And then there was something else in the book. Oh, yeah. A nice little comic cartoon at the end. And look, he went through the spinner thingy and then he got cut up into pieces because the spinner thing with these big round bars that don't cut through anything, too much coffee, dumb. Okay. Oh, and this is a cool little, I like this. This is a nice little touch. The back cover is a Virgin, it does have the barcode unfortunately, but without the trade dress, you just get the art. That's pretty neat. I like that. And I like that this book is hefty. You hold this book, it feels like an annual. And a big reason is because it's got extra pages of the extra stuff. Speaking of pages, look at that. Page numbers. I love that. This book has got it's got a decently thick, it's okay, thick cover. The pages are thick. They're they're the same as the cover, but unlike Marvel, where the cover's like flimsy, cheapy, like the pages. These pages are thick, so the cover, it's like every page is a cover page, and it just feels nice. There's a tactile quality to it that I appreciated. So I've talked about this book. I love it. I really enjoyed this book. I'm really looking forward to the next issue to see what goes on. I think this concept is brilliant. When I heard about it months ago, I was like, sounds okay. Now that I've seen it executed, the concept is clear. And one thing is really striking me that I didn't think of before. This is Batman, right? And I couldn't help but thinking the whole time I was reading this book was this ever pitched to DC? Did DC turn this down? Because this would be amazing as a DC story. Take the old 60s Batman, cross it over with Edgelord. Take any period of Batman at his darkest and just most brutal. Perhaps Frank Miller, and just crisscross this. Have the Joker, you have I forget the actor's name, I feel bad, that did the Adam West Joker. He's one of the most popular. That version of Joker coming into the Edgelord world and just, killing joke version, psychotic, murdering Joker going into the Adam West world. Flip-flopping this, having Robin, in one but dead. This would have been stellar as a DC, just an out of continuity, like a White Knight type book, 12-issue maxi series, not however many issues you need to tell your story, would have been fantastic. And unfortunately now I don't think DC can't really. I'm not sure if they can do this because it's kind of copyright. We got these and this character feels like Batman. It's just that it's not. So it's like, oh man, we as fans we're just like, oh, what could have been. But don't let that deter you. The book is still very good and worth it on just the single story. The extras is just fluff. Don't worry about buying it for any of that stuff. So, high recommend. Even with Jamal Igle, who I still buy. People go, why are you buying his book, Ash? I thought you were anti-SJW. Well, I am. But I'm not anti-buying your work because of your political beliefs. I'm not even anti-buying your work because you act like an idiot online. I'm anti-buying your work if you're unprofessional and show contempt towards fans. Now, Jamal walks this very fine line where he supports the SJWs and he'll make some comments, but they're more reactionary, kind of the way Comicsgate does towards. So someone from Comicsgate will do something he disapproves with. He'll comment back, that his disapproval. Where he doesn't come out and be like, F Comicsgaters, and he doesn't go on Chuck Wendig type, spurg out moments. And he's never doing that sort of stuff. He doesn't block. He does block people, but he blocks individually. He doesn't do the block bots. So he's never blocked me because I don't behave, I don't harass people. I don't curse people out. I behave respectfully, even to people who I don't think deserve respect. So he hasn't done that. So as long as he's continuing to do that, I'm going to be okay with buying his work on merit. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy his book, but this is on merit. Tom Peyer did a fantastic job writing this book. I don't know whose idea this came out of, but I'm going to give Peyer credit for the concept. Go buy this book if you can find it. I found a couple copies on the shelf. People really don't know about this. Recommend it if you like it. Move the Needle. I'm going to do a Move the Needle on this book myself, and this is something people should be aware of. We'll see how these guys respond to the Move the Needle, if they do at all. And if you do a Move the Needle because of this video, please tag me, Ash1138, and thanks for watching.